Hello, and welcome to today's program as the World Affairs Council of Greater Houston hosts a conversation with Consul General of Norway, Hilde Skorpen. I'm Sandija Bayot, Director of Development at the World Affairs Council of Houston. It's our hope that you and your families are staying healthy. We are so glad you joined us today. I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all our recently recorded conversations as well as the upcoming sessions. It is so much easier when the programs are delivered directly into your inbox, isn't it? Sign up so we can make sure we stay engaged. Now, more than ever, it is important to stay connected and informed about what is happening, and not only in our city, but around the world. And the World Affairs Council of Houston brings foreign affairs experts right into your home. For those of you that are new to the Council, you can find listings of all our upcoming programs on our website. That is wachouston.org. And now, on to our program. Ms. Hilde Skorpen took the position as the Norway's Consul General in Houston in September of 2019. Her district includes 10 southern and midwestern states, as well as Puerto Rico and the US Virgin Islands. Prior to arriving to Houston, Ms. Skorpen had held so many strategically important positions. I'm just going to highlight some of them. Ambassador of Disarmament and Non-Proliferation, as Deputy Permanent Representative to Norwegian Mission to UN in Geneva. Consul General was previously posted at the Norwegian Mission in NATO in Brussels and at the Embassy of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. She has also served as the Foreign Ministry's Senior Faculty Advisor to the Norwegian National Defense College in Oslo. Consul General, it's such an honor to call you a friend of the Council. Pleasure having you join us today.
Thank you, Sandija. I'm very happy to be on your show. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Wanted to touch base and see what is the new normal in your daily life? How is your life? How are your days?
Well, I think I could just start with the panic that I felt when I couldn't log on to this Zoom site. So I think dealing with the new technology is something that we are all struggling a little bit with these days. So yeah, definitely. But I'm very happy that I'm on now.
Thank you for doing that. For our listener to understand better, could you share with us how many constituents are here in Houston, Texas, approximately?
Yes, we think that there are about 5,000 Norwegians here in Houston. So the Consulate General in Houston is one of 3 Consulate Generals we have in the United States, in addition to our embassy in Washington. And the reason we are here is because of the oil and gas sector. So, so it's a very important place for us to be present.
Absolutely. And how does the consulate operate now? I assume the same way that so many organizations do globally?
Yes, I think we're trying to, grapple with this new situation, and it's challenging in so many ways. We want to stay active. We want to be connected to our community, and we want to be connected to the greater Houston area. So at the consulate, we have every month we have arranged network events on important topics, and we have had maybe 100 participants, and we are trying to figure out how can we continue that activity in this new digital era. So now we are looking at developing webinars and so on.
Absolutely, same here, same here. Would you help us understand, given the health situation globally, a little bit of update on Norway, how Norway is doing?
I would say that Norway is doing pretty well under the circumstances. We have had, to date, we have had under 200 deaths. Every death from this is one too many, of course. Sure. And about 7,400 confirmed cases to date. So we are doing fairly well. We have had many of the same measures in place that we have had here in Houston, with quarantine after traveling, social distancing, working from home, and and all of that. And of course, we're having the same discussion. When can we open up the society again? Yeah. So, but under the circumstances, we are doing fairly well.
Absolutely. And maybe we can expand that conversation a bit further into the Nordic region. Kind of your thoughts on what is happening in the greater area around Norway.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've caught that Sweden have seen a lot more people catching the virus, and also had registered far more deaths than their Nordic neighbors. They've followed a different strategy, which have, mostly keeping things open. So we are, of course, cooperating very closely on the measures and the developments and so on. We're also cooperating closely at our embassies and consulates around the world, not least when it comes to aiding our citizens getting them back home. So we have a very long-standing tradition of Nordic cooperation, and not only amongst ourselves, but also in encouraging international cooperation. If I may mention, our foreign ministers have been meeting every second weeks on the corona situation, and I think the last meeting was the 17th of April, where they issued a declaration in support of the World Health Organization. Mm-hmm. So, international cooperation and certainly supporting our joint international organizations these days are considered incredibly important.
Absolutely. And you mentioned how your nation has really come so much closer with that neighborhood, and it's more of a approach of the whole Nordic area rather than just each on its own. So it's really great to hear that you've pulled together and have one strong united voice.
Yeah, and you know what, I think also that the way there are some common features in the Nordic countries that makes cooperation sort of our default position. I was just listening to a online program the other day where our Crown Prince, we do have royals in 3 of the Nordic countries, where our Crown Prince was participating in a program with head of our employers organization and head of our largest labor organization, and they were all very much praising this institutionalized cooperation that we have had for many, many years between, we call it the three-party cooperation, and it's sort of the backbone of what we call the Nordic model, mm-hmm. in which the labor organization and employers organization and authorities jointly come together to work out measures. It's all cooperating and trying to find the best solutions for society at large. So I think that it helps to alleviate the situation, and it's also one of the reasons why we talk about the Nordic countries as high trust societies, I think.
Absolutely.
So what we do find is that there is a high degree of confidence. It's a high degree of trust in our health authorities these days, in our politicians, and in each other. Public-private partnerships are very important in a situation like this. So, the our national institutions and our Nordic institutions are sort of designed to foster cooperation.
Absolutely. And at this time, there's nothing more of the feeling of the safety being encompassed and being trusted, and that you have your leadership that you can certainly trust. So I salute you, and of course your nation and the region for all the great accomplishments that you lead on. Wanted to just maybe touch base a little bit back here in Houston, back with the consulate and things there. Besides the current global crisis, I know it's a Houston talk a lot about oil and gas and prices. Maybe some thoughts on how we are connected to nations, but something that you closely watch here and what it is that you follow.
Yes, this is, of course, as I started with, the reason we have a Consul General in Houston is because of the oil and gas industry, and most of our nationals in Houston are in the oil and gas industry, and of course, you know, the current situation is really impacting everybody, and we have, you know, several members of our community also facing unemployment now, and the whole issue with health insurance, not the least, that is tied to work very often. We follow very closely the situation here, and we are also looking. You know, it's a terribly challenging situation, but we are also looking for ways to see if there are new opportunities for collaborating. We have followed the discussion that was following the hearing of the Texas Railroad Commission just last week on possible measures to alleviate the situation. And one of the areas they've been talking about is the oil recovery. We had a big seminar in March where oil recovery, enhanced oil recovery was the topic, and we had about a dozen Norwegian companies pitching their sort of innovative solutions at the conference, and now we want to look into whether there are ways that we can collaborate on in that area, because we saw that the Railroad Commission was establishing a task force to explore those issues. So that is one area. You know, digitalization within the oil and gas industry is another one. I think that we have a lot of common areas of innovation right now, and we're going through some of the same phases with transitioning, and where oil and gas is going to be with us for it's going to be an important part of the energy mix for years to come. So we need to find better ways of you know, utilizing this precious energy source, and at the same time that we are adapting to climate change. So that is one area that we look forward to explore. Another area is, of course, the medtech, the whole medtech area.
And it's another place to be in Houston, right? It's another
yes,
similarities that we have here for sure.
Yeah.
Again, I just wanted to reach out to you to see how you are doing, your family's doing, adapting to situation, how the consulate is doing, and again, we really value your friendship. We value the information and support that you give to organizations like ours, so we can provide a timely content just as this one, and timely conversation, and opportunity for our members and friends to be engaged and stay engaged. So I'm going to say thank you for your time. All wishes to you and yours, and so much looking forward to seeing you in person in one of our upcoming sessions. So all the best, Consul General. Thank you for your time, and see you later.
Thank you very much for having me on. Thank you. Bye-bye.